Before this video begins, I want to give a huge shout out to my supporters, Logan XD, Googly Woogly Woo, Flash, Feedin' the Kitty, and Egan. Thank you guys so much, it means the world to me. And now, on to the video. Hello everyone, welcome back to another dev video, and this week I've been continuing to work on the platformer controller. I've re-added the animations, as you can see. On the old platformer, you could tell that he would lean into the way he was running. I've removed that for now for the sake of keeping the controller pretty rigid. It makes it easier for collider detection and stuff, since the collider is staying straight vertically. And so with the animation itself, I'm probably going to animate it to lean into the run, and that way I can keep the collider straight up and down and make it easier to control the player. And yeah, so the animation part wasn't even that difficult to implement. I basically got a reference in the base class to the animator, and each state itself will be able to reference this and set the values to the animator. So it's as simple as calling the owner anim and setting the bool from here, or setting the floats, and it's all string based, so yeah, pretty simple. And it's nice because I can set the animation states in the enter functions, so when the state begins, then I can set the animator to is sliding, and then when I exit the sliding state, I can make it false again. So I'm probably going to separate the jump state from the move state, because it'll be easier for transitions, since if I have the jump and the move state together, then you'll be able to transition to all these different things, and it'll start getting messy having all these things just in the move state class. So I'm probably going to separate jump into its own state to clean things up a bit, and then from there I'm probably going to add the other states, the punch, the wall jump, dive and stuff. This Tuesday I wanted to take a bit of a break from coding. I wasn't really in the mood to do any coding, so I decided instead to make a new skybox for this scene in particular. I wanted it to be a nice starry sky to match the Aurora Borealis, because with the other skybox the mountains would be going way into the sky. It didn't make much sense, since the Aurora Borealis usually is above, higher up in the atmosphere, so it didn't make much sense that the mountains were going higher than it. And yeah, I thought a nice starry sky would be really cool. I wouldn't say this is final yet. I want to add some more objects around the horizon, and also you can see the stars are very they're random, but at the same time it's all just the same kind of clusters of stars. I want to have something cool, if you've ever seen pictures of the night sky, you can see the Milky Way and stuff. Something to break up the constant randomness of the stars. And there's also that humongous supernova over there. Yeah. And also I think I gotta raise the resolution because it's kind of blurry. Like the other skybox is kind of blurry too, but my computer's not the greatest at rendering 4K images for some reason. But we'll see how this progresses. But I think for the rest of the week I'm gonna keep working on the platformer controller. This Wednesday I worked on separating the state where you're in the air from the walking state. Originally it was called jump, but I changed it to airborne since jumping still takes place in the move state and the slide state. But now that I've got the airborne state separated, it'll be easier to transition from when you're in the air to things that can only happen when you are in the air, like while jumping and diving. There's still one little kink going from slide to airborne, because he still transitions to move before he goes to airborne still, but it should be pretty easy to fix. If we go into the scripts, I've got it right here. So it's a bit shorter than the other ones, but basically I moved the code that determines how you move around in the air to this script, and that shortened up the move script a little bit. But yeah, so I also was thinking about these different transitions and trying to redo them a bit. So these are all the things that you can go to from when you're in airborne, and then of course there's a lot less things to transition to and move now, which is good. And slide is still only 2 transitions. I haven't implemented the airborne one yet. So he goes to move before he goes to airborne when you're in slide. And that's what I've got so far. So I'm probably gonna fix up the slide so he goes straight to airborne if you're in the air when you cancel. And then I might add like wall jumping or punching. We'll see. Just finishing off the week by adding the punching. So I still have the shove animation on it. I'm going to redo the animations once I get most of the controller finished. But yeah, it was pretty simple to implement. It's a pretty simple state, so we can take a look at it. So it's pretty short. It just basically, when it enters, it starts a timer, which is pretty short. I think I have it at 0.1 seconds right now. And then while the frames, or every frame, it will just move the character forward with the punching animation. And I still need to add the collision for hitting objects or activating objects, like there was with the old controller. But for now I'm just working on the actual player movement. But it shouldn't be too hard to add. So going to continue working on this next week, adding the dive on Monday probably. But yeah, I'm gonna end it off right here this week. So I hope you all have a good weekend, and I'll see you later. Peace.